Well, it's been quite a while since I made a video, so I figure it's about time to start making them again. Last time I took this out, I drove about 10 miles, went up to the gas station, and came back home and didn't think anything of it, and went out about a week later. Gonna go take it out for another spin, and went ahead and checked the fluids, and my coolant was completely bone dry. So went ahead and threw about, I don't know, half a gallon in or so. And when I did, I noticed it was leaking out of the water pump. So today, I think we're going to go ahead and change out the water pump. And while we're in there, we'll hit up both hoses too. Hopefully I didn't do any damage to the car, because I'm betting I probably drove it without coolant the last time I had it going. So hopefully it'll be alright. We'll see if it starts. Seems to be cranking over okay, so I'm not too worried about it. There we go. Well, I guess we'll let it run for a little bit. Don't want to go too long without any coolant. See if we can get it out of here. Still a little snowy, but it's really nice and warm today. I think it's up around 50 somewhere now, and it's supposed to only get warmer. So this snow will be gone fairly soon. Alright. Hard to see where I'm going. The sun was in my eyes for a second. Alright, well, let's pop the hood and see if we can put a new water pump in this thing. Well, here we are under the hood, and looks like there's a fair bit of stuff I got to remove to get that water pump out of there. I think I'm going to start with this piece of air cleaner here. I'll pull that up and just get it out of my way, give me a little more room, and then I'll probably go ahead and remove this shroud. Not absolutely necessary. I could probably get to everything with it on here, but it'll make it a heck of a lot easier, I think, if I just pop these 4 bolts and get this thing out of here. Next thing I'll take off is the fan. That'll give me more room as well. And once all that's out of the way, I'll have to, it looks like I'll have to remove the AC bracket, this little alternator bracket, as well as the power steering bracket. It looks like they all go through the water pump housing, so I'll have to remove all of that fun stuff along with the belts. I guess I won't have to remove the belts, I'll just put them out of the way, but yeah, it looks like fun. I guess I'll go ahead and get started, get the shroud out of the way, and this and the fan, and that'll give me a little better access to the brackets, and I'll pick it up from there. Well, alright, I've gone ahead and I've got the shroud and the fan off. It's pretty simple. All I did was unbolt the top 2 bolts of the shroud and pulled it back away from the radiator. I was able to get in between the shroud and the radiator and undo the 4 bolts of the fan. And once I did that, I rocked the fan loose and I pulled up the fan and the shroud at the same time. Pulled them out of the way. And it looks like my next step is going to be to loosen all these belts up. This one here, there's a little bolt in the back, and then we'll be able to move it around after we loosen that up, and be able to pull this belt out of the way. And then obviously the power steering belt's got to go. That wraps around the water pump, so that'll be gone. Alternator belt I'm not too worried about. I'm gonna have to take the bracket off, so you know it's gonna come loose anyway. I may loosen it just to make sure, but I guess I'll start with that. Just get these belts out of my way, and then we'll work on the brackets. Alright, I've gone ahead and taken the belts off. This one here was fairly easy. I just loosened this bolt here in the back, and then loosened that bolt, and it came down and was able to pull it off. The belt that went around the water pump, the crank, and the power steering pulley, that was easy enough to pull off. All I did was pull off the pulley for the water pump, which was already unbolted when I unbolted the fan. And then all that's left is the alternator. One bolt in the back here I loosened up, and then I'll remove this bolt and I'll be able to take this bracket off. Well, I've got the alternator and bracket off. Went pretty good, except for one of the bolts did not come out so easy. Actually ended up stripping the head of it. I had to pound on a 9mm to get it to work, but I found one that'll work, I think. Well, now I'm working on the air conditioning unit and the bracket there, and we got 4 bolts here and a stud that have to come out. And then as soon as I get this bolt way back there out, which is a bracket that ties it to the manifold, I should be able to pick this thing up and just kind of set it over here to the side, and that'll be out of my way. And then I can move on to this last bracket right here, and then a few more little things, and that water pump should come right out. Alright, now the air conditioning unit is out of the way, the compressor. That last bolt was kind of tricky to get to, but I got to it without too much cussing. Got it out of there and out of the way, and now all that's left is this one bracket here. And it's just 3 bolts left. Well, 2 bolts and a nut. Hopefully this nut will come out and the stud will stay in. That way the power steering pump can just kind of sit there on its own, but well, I guess we'll find out when we take it apart. And then after that, it's just a few little things over on the side here. I'll have to unplug this right here, and this hose here has got to come off, and of course the lower radiator hose. Before I go ahead and take all that off though, after I get this off, I'm going to go ahead and drain the coolant out of it. Most of it's probably already gone, but I'm going to take whatever's in that lower hose and drain that out, because I'll be replacing that hose along with the upper one. So I'm going to go ahead and take that bracket off and go from there. Well, that went pretty well. I've got this bracket off. The nut came off, fortunately, so the power steering pump can just sit right there without any issue. This hose also came off very nicely, so I've got that out of the way, and I got real lucky with this. A lot of times these little vacuum lines can be you know, brittle, especially these nipples, and real hard to get off, but this one just popped right off, real simple. And I've also got the wire that went to there off, so now I can go ahead and start taking off all these little bolts and pull the water pump out. I've also drained the coolant, got that hose off. All this stuff pretty much came off pretty easily. I'm rather surprised for a car this old, but go ahead and get that off of there and get ready to put the new one on. Well, there we go. Water pump is off. Now there's only a few more things I got to do. One thing I got to do is obviously clean up the old gasket and clean that surface up real nice. I'm also going to go ahead and take this upper and lower radiator hose off, because I have replacements for those. Another thing I've got to do is remove this here and put it on the new water pump, and I got to make sure to remember that these little nipples go towards that one. One thing about this particular water pump is this bolt right here, due to clearance issues with the crank pulley, you can't pull it all the way out, so I have to remember to put that one back in before I put the water pump in. So I have to have it in there and then put the water pump up. As you can see, I've gone ahead and put the bolts in the new water pump as I took them out to keep them all in order, so I know where they go. It just makes things a little easier. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that up and swap this over real quick, and should be pretty much ready to go. Throw it all back together. Alright, well, I've got the water pump bolted in, and I've got that one hose hooked up down there, but I think I'm going to stop filming for now, because it's going to get dark here pretty quick, and I don't think I'll be able to button it up and still get a good film. So I'll finish this up tonight, button it up, and then probably take it out in the morning for a spin, a little test drive, and we'll see how it does. But yeah, I'll finish this up and post this to YouTube. Well, alright, I got her all buttoned up last night. Everything's back together. All I got to do now is throw a little bit of coolant in it. and then once I've done that, we'll fire it up and we'll look for leaks, and hopefully there won't be any, and then we'll take it for a spin. Alright, the coolant is topped off. Now we're going to fire it up, look for leaks, and then take it for a spin. Should be good. Any major leaks. So I think we're alright. I'll let her warm up and then we'll take her out. Well, so far so good. Seems to be running alright. No leaks that I can find. And yeah, I haven't really got her up to speed, but she seems to be shifting okay, so I'm gonna call this a success. I guess I'll know for sure when I get back home, but yep, I think it's a job well done.